Want to know how to really improve school culture? Hey, I'm your host, Jeff Veely, and this is the Campus Peace Podcast. Join me after school as we discuss how to empower students, boost staff morale, and squash squabbles. Well, hello, welcome to the Campus Peace Podcast. I'm Jeff Veely, and I'm so glad to be back for another season here of podcasting. It's been sort of a crazy adventure as we deal with COVID, and I support educators from the sidelines and then also on the front lines, but virtually. What a crazy year this has been. And so I'm excited to be back here in studio, being able to connect also with parents, educators, counselors at home, tuning in right now live. We're also broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube. And I want to talk about politics today. Now, before you tune out, hear me clear. I'm not going to try to influence who you vote for or anything like that. I just think there's an opportunity right now to talk to young people about aggression, talk to them about resilience, talk about how to interact with people that have different views and different beliefs. And so that's what we're going to be talking about on today's show. Thanks so much again for joining me, whether you're listening to the podcast version or joining live, watching online right now via video. You get to see my lovely little red hair here in my fancy little home studio. This is how I've been doing virtual presentations. I can't travel to schools across the country right now. Normally, October is crazy for me. I'm going from one end of the country to another. October is National Bullying Prevention Month. And I was telling my wife last night, I said, this is the most I've been home in the month of October in the last 15 years. It's true. It's absolutely nuts. And so instead of going out and speaking in schools, I'm looking at kids on Zoom, on screens. I've got all these different monitors set up here in my office. And so when I turn around, I look at TVs. And when kids wave or comment, I get to wave back and interact with them that way. It's been super weird, but also super fun and rewarding. And today I wanted to bring you inside the studio. I wanted to sort of bring up a discussion that I think we should all be having with kids. Of course, the election is right around the corner. We're going to be voting for a president here very soon. And tensions are high, emotions are hot, and everybody has been cooped up because of COVID. And so I think the angst, the anxiety, just even some of the opinions and posts that we're seeing right now are even more venomous, perhaps more viral than we would normally see in an election season. And of course, as we talk about this as adults, kids are seeing this. They're seeing this on TV. They're seeing the ads take over YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all these different social media platforms. And how do we process some of the things that our kids are seeing? Especially if you're a parent trying to teach your kid to be kind, especially if you're a teacher trying to remind students to be nice online as you're teaching virtually. Well, then how do we explain these political ads, which seem to undercut the other candidates and seem to point out people's flaws? What do we do with that? Well, I think now is a key time for us to be able to take some of these things that are going viral, take some of these things that are being pushed out, these different messages, and talk about what our values are. Now, again, I'm not talking about your political viewpoints. I mean, talk with kids about that if you wish, I guess. But man, as an educator, the last thing I want to do is try to influence the way kids are voting or talk about their parents one way or another. No. What I want to do is point out how I don't appreciate how there's a lot of folks, and instead of saying what they stand for, they love to point out negative things about their colleagues or their opponent. Man, I think it's so much stronger to stand for something than to stand against something. And I understand you may be listening to all this and disagree. But I think rather than being aggressive, it's so much more powerful to be proactive, to be positive. Man, I know that's the kind of leader that I want, leading a country, leading a company. That's the kind of friend that I want to follow and appoint as a leader of a group. That's just the kind of person I want to be around, is someone that's going to be positive, someone that's going to look to lift others up. And so as we help our kids process the different things that we're seeing, man, I hope we can help them realize, man, to be aggressive, well, sometimes it's seen as a good thing, or sometimes it's seen as something that we can cheer on. And it's really not living the golden rule. It's really not probably putting our best foot forward. I'm a part of this amazing curriculum, this program called Squabbles. I've had a chance to co-author it with some dear friends of mine. And we teach there's 3 reasons why people are aggressive. There's only 3 reasons in the world why someone is mean or aggressive towards you. If you're watching the video feed right now, you can see me holding up 3 different emojis, and perhaps you've learned this lesson from me before. But only 3 reasons in the world why someone is aggressive. And as you watch these political ads, as you hear people speak, as you talk with your kids, I would challenge you to look at these 3 different reasons. The number one reason why someone might be aggressive, the first example I'll give you, is maybe they want to bother you. They want to have psychological control or dominance over you. So they'll say things or do things to try to get under your skin. Man, and if they can annoy you, if they can make you upset, whether it's something they say about something you believe or someone else, man, you will fly off the handle. Boom, now they have this dominance over you. Or maybe they say something to irritate you and try to prove a point. The second reason is, well, maybe they feel hurt. They say something, or they point out something about someone because that hurt them. I could think of some things in particular that I've seen online, and these ads are talking about hurting. They were so offended by something that another candidate said. Well, and then there's one final one, this sort of yellow emoji that we use in our example, and that's someone who's joking with you. I know there's a lot of political jokes going around online. Some are funny. I think you can find some humor in them, no matter who you're voting for or rooting for. Then there's others that may offend you. They're out there to sort of have a little jab, and any humor is typically at someone's expense. Someone's got to be the butt of the joke, and well, maybe you don't like that so much. But if you can help your kids understand it's only 3 reasons they want to bother you, they want to, they feel hurt by you, or they want to joke with you. If you can help kids understand that it's only one of 3 reasons, you can start to watch the political ads, and you can look through a different lens and say, oh, what do you think they're trying to do? Do you think that was like a political joke? Do you think that they're trying to bother certain people that are watching this, people with a certain viewpoint? Or do you think maybe that candidate, they're trying to appease, or they're trying to reach out and catch the attention of those that feel hurt by this particular policy or person? Maybe they're trying to do that, trying to get a reaction. I think it's so interesting how we can take current events, we can take current things that are going on, and we can use it as a lesson for our kids. There's always a lesson to be learned. And so I would encourage you to ask, what is the lesson? Maybe what's one of these emojis that you've seen in an ad? If you're watching along right now on Facebook or YouTube, tell me, have you seen a political ad about joking, about hurting, the blue one, or red, the bothering? I would love to hear from you. I love to just, again, use current events, things that we're seeing in the media, and making sure that we're using it as a teachable moment for kids. I had a colleague, something would happen, and she would say, that's a teachable moment. I remember I used to say to her, I think every moment is a teachable moment. Like every moment in life, I would imagine there's something, if we're being smart, there's something we can learn. There's something we can take away from it. This is a great time of year to teach kids and to just remind one another in our families that it's okay to have different viewpoints. It's okay to have different opinions. I think diversity is something that we should celebrate. And this is a great comment here coming on. Jacqueline, thank you so much for bringing this up. She says, like that, always lessons to be learned. There sure are. There are always lessons to be learned. And I think we should remind ourselves of that and remind our kids. Ask them what they're learning from what they see, especially the aggression that's being piped to us 24/7 right now via the media. You know, Dr. Albert Ellis, he taught this powerful lesson. He taught that when it comes to being hurt, when it comes to being emotionally wounded, there's sort of this A, this B, and C. There's A, the activating event or the aggression. There's sort of the thing, and we think the thing causes C, the emotional consequence. We think that the aggression, A, aggression causes C, emotional consequence, that what people do when they're aggressive towards us, it actually makes us feel a certain way. But no. If you learn the ABCs, you'll learn that it's not A that causes C, but there's actually a B in between. If you've taken Psychology 101, you understand this. A doesn't equal C. There's a B in between. There is what's called your belief system. See, it's not what happens to you that hurts you. It's how you process or what you think about what happens to you that hurts you. It's not what happens to you. It's what you believe about it. See, if I believe that all Trump supporters are evil, I may get upset by what they say. If I believe that all Biden supporters are evil and all these ads are out to get me and to make me feel like a loser, well, I might get offended when I see this. And again, here, not to talk about one candidate or the other, but I think there's a lot of folks, a lot of people I can see on my Facebook friends list, a lot of folks I can see in my news feed, and I see something pop up and I see them emotionally react. And I see there's a lot of folks out there that are blaming it. You know, you said that and you made me. Did they really push your buttons? Or is there a belief system? Is there a firm, rigid, you must not disagree with me? Is there that kind of a belief system that is upsetting you? Man, the more flexible our belief systems can be, the more we can agree to disagree, the happier we can become. The more at peace we can be with a world that is at odds. If we can learn just to chill, just to rest and digest, the more we'll find that we don't have to get offended. Look, in this season where folks are in an uproar, where there's people that are more angry, more unkind, more perhaps opinionated than ever, I hope you'll remember to be kind. I hope that you'll remember to look out and to ask the question, even though this person may disagree with me, what good might come from this? How could this be a good thing? You can always agree to disagree. And that's one of the things that's beautiful about living here in America. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jeff Veely, and I approve this message. If you enjoyed today's show, please help me achieve an A+. Simply take a moment to rate and review the show wherever you're listening. Then catch up on episodes and grab some free resources over at campuspeacepodcast.com.